All right, guys, Kershaw's been killing it this year, so I want to go over some knives as well as ZT. We got one ZT and four Kershaws. I'm going to go over some knives and tell you what I like and about each knife and help you in your buying, decisions. These in the middle, or these four are all pretty much around the same price point, close to it. I'm going to give you prices according to Blade HQ today. It is January 7th, and I know the 12th they're coming out with some more new knives. So I'm excited to see what Kershaw comes out with, and ZT. I think 2 ZT knives. So anyway, let's go over these knives. I'm going to start out with price points and materials. I have no relationship with Kershaw other than they live 3 hours from me, and I'm talking to them at Blade Show. They're really great. I've purchased some other Kershaw knives that I decided not to keep, or ZTs that I've sold on Blade Binge, but these are the ones that I have enjoyed. These two I've had the most use with. This would be the Launch 21 in M4, and then the 0512 in CruWear and titanium. So let's start from left to right. I previously owned the Bel-Air. This is sitting at $189 right now. This is the XL version in MagnaCut as well. And then we have the Iridium at $174, and then we have the Launch 22 at $174. These are very similar knives, and I'll kind of go over some of the differences. Then we have the Launch 21, which is phenomenal. I took this camping. I really beat it up and held up well. And then my most used knife here, and I love to have in my pocket on a daily basis, is 0512. So we have MagnaCut on these, aluminum handles, aluminum, and then right here we have obviously G10 and half G10. And micarta inlay. So we have M4 here. M4 has been great. I resharpened it a couple times, and yeah, it was so easy to sharpen. And then we have CruWear here and titanium with micarta on one side, and this button is really, really cool. So let's start over. Start with measurements. We're sitting around 8 inches on these knives here, maybe 8 1/4, and then we've got 8 1/2, and then around 8 inches. I find that 8 inches is a great size for my hand. I've got large to extra large hands depending on the gloves, and this just fits perfect. I love the clip points. I'm excited to start using these two, and I love the, what is this, a Warncliffe? I don't know, reverse, I don't know. I'm not good with blade shapes, maybe sheep's foot, reverse tanto, I don't know. Anyway, this is a great blade chip, and I love that you can get really far down on the blade. So I've got G10. It's got like this kind of file-y feel. Yeah, just you can hear it. It just feels perfect. I don't feel like it's going to rip up my pockets. I just kind of carry these around the house in some, gym pants and pajamas, just to see how it felt before I really get to using them. Just kind of see if I want to keep the knives, because these 3 are new, and this is going to be a keeper. This here is, I think, one of the best buys out of this batch, as far as blade and shape and design. And one thing, obviously it's not an auto, so if you live in a state where you can't have an auto, this is probably the one I would pick. But the Omega springs are a little, I think, tighter than the ones previously. I did find with the first Bel-Air that it was too light of an Omega spring, and it liked to open really easy, and this feels a lot tighter. I might even go hunt down some stronger Omega springs just for fun. I do wish they had a clutch lock in there and you could adjust it. But I mean, you do have steel liners in here. I think they're steel, obviously probably are, where you could probably, if you were real savvy and had a drill press, you could probably put your own in little holes and do that. But just lightweight, thin, super slicey blade. Super rad knife. Pocket clips for Kershaw and ZT are always a win for me. They've got a great ramp on them, nice tension, and they're perfect. They go in and out of the pocket super easy. But yeah, cool. Love this one right here. Next up would be these two. It'd be hard to decide because they are exactly the same price on Blade HQ, and which is weird to me. So I guess the main differences would be handle is a little bit bigger on the 22, and I think your blade stock's a little thicker. Yep, a little thicker. But they're just so similar. The point comes down to almost the same spot. Obviously the grinds are a little different, but yeah, very, very similar. You have micarta on here, which is nice because you're getting that micarta on the pocket clip, which is super soft. And one thing to notice on this is, how do they do it? This does fall onto, like, where is it? Right there. They did put a little pad in here for your pocket clip on the G10, which is so cool. Like, I only seen that with like Protex or really high-end knives, and so not to say that this isn't a high-end knife, but it is cheaper than a ProTech. But yeah, very cool design. Here we have G10 on one side and then aluminum on the other. This is a very lightweight knife. It probably feels lighter. We'll get weights, that way you can see for yourself. Pretty much maybe a little more weight on the opening on this one. Hits a little harder than the lighter blade on this one. Yeah, a little lighter on that. So that feels a little less aggressive. When I was first got this one here, opening it was like, wow, there's a thwack. Same with the ZT, but you get used to it. Having the micarta kind of dampens this one. a little bit, almost like if you hit a baseball, you know, with a metal bat, and you kind of feel that reverb on your hands. Sometimes initially I was feeling that with the fully aluminum one, but I do love this grip, this handle shape and the blade shape. This thing's super tough. I, you know, was cutting wood and starting fires with this one and cutting roots out of trees for, I don't even know why I was doing that, but it held up great. Super tough knife. Overall, just a really good deal. So $169, this is gonna be the cheapest one on Blade HQ right now. And yeah, I don't think you can go wrong with this. Like I said, it's super tough. Some of that tin can didn't get on there, but I think if I really took an eraser, it'd probably take it off. It's probably just the tin can on there. And then these both come, the ones that I have like this really kind of like stone washed, rough, you know, weathered look. I forget what you call that, maybe acid wash, I can't remember. It's probably online, but it already looks like it's been worn, so you're not really gonna notice a lot of wear. And then you don't have like as big of a finger choil there, or grip, right there, finger grip. But yeah, it still feels great. Gosh, out of these two, it'd be hard for me to pick, to be honest. Yeah, it just depends if you want a bigger knife. And then the, yeah, so this one here, I love it. The 21, super great. Can't go wrong with this one. If you can have an auto, get it. My recommendation. And then if you want to spend the money, I think I got this one on a deal, on a sale, and I don't remember what I paid, but they do have different colors now. But I loved this. This brown just feels organic. Yeah, it's just such a cool knife. It's held an edge. I have not touched it up at all or nothing. I didn't even take it to a strop, and it's still super sharp. Let's grab some paper here. I say that. Well, yeah, it still is. And I've been using this for all kinds of stuff. A little snag there. I might take it to a strop, but yeah, it's just a really good shape. Like it falls into your palm here, and overall, just a killer knife. And I love the button. The button has like this little recessed kind of bevel to it. So, and it's up further up here, which is nice. So like you're already in the grip position where you don't really have to move your thumb that far. And I know it sounds stupid, but going from down here up to here is more of a motion. So very cool, the ZT. But they're all great. Let's get some weights really quick, just so you can see visually what the differences are on here. All right, let's go to ounces. All right, so let's start out with the Bel-Air. We are sitting at just over 3 ounces. Okay. And then yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see these two. All right, so we have 3.6 ounces, and then yeah, 2.9. So about a little over half an ounce difference between these two. So you probably might notice that in your pocket if you're running or something, and that's what you want it for. Other than that, you know, maybe summer. Then next would be 4 ounces on this one. I guess that's the M4. I don't know. It is the biggest one of all the knives, so that makes sense. And then the ZT is titanium, and well, it's the heaviest. Interesting. Yeah, it's funny. This doesn't feel, it feels dense and tough. Maybe that's why it's heavier, because it's just a little overbuilt for ZT. But yeah, that's interesting. You know, I honestly, going into this, I didn't know the weights, just what it felt like in hand. But yeah, anyway, just giving you an idiot's information. You all know I'm an idiot, so. Just a guy that likes knives. I'm not a full expert. Knives are just a hobby. I do go over other gear on this channel because knives are not the #1 topic here. And I do have another channel that's completely just photography and stuff like that. So, which actually gets more love than this channel. So, photographer guy on YouTube. So, this is just for fun. These are knives I purchased because I think that they're interesting and they're something that I probably want to carry. And so, probably one of these will hit the chopping block and go onto blade bench or something, because I don't need 2 of the exact same knife. But I do love this knife for beating up camping. Everyday use. Everyday use for this will be no questions. If you can get this knife here on a good deal or on a sale, I know right now it is $189. It's a $200 knife, and I think it's worth it, to be honest. It's just so smooth and easy to use. Like the thumb stud, the axis lock, or whatever you want to call it, crossbar lock, is just a piece of cake. Like it's a no-brainer for me. This knife is just, yeah, you can't go wrong. MagnaCut's going to be tough, super slicey, and this is going to be probably one of the easiest ones to sharpen, just because you have that simple blade shape there that's, pretty much flat almost. It's pointy, slicey. It's just going to do everything you need to do. So, and it's lightweight, lightest of all of them. So anyway, hopefully that's helpful. If it is, please give me a like and a subscribe, if this is helpful, so that I can, fund more knives, because that's basically what this channel is for, is just to talk about gear. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. And thanks, Kershaw, for making cool stuff. Oregon has got some rad knife companies. You've got Benchmade, Mr. Gerber. Like, it's pretty cool. Now we have Worksharp making knives, and yeah, such a great state. So anyway, catch you in the next video. See ya.